insofar as a country needs to be united, we always subscribe to a center of power, but we also respect the constitution that it brings in diversity. So that's generally on the principle of one center of power. We subscribe to a unitary state, but on the other hand, we also fought for democracy, and democracy means diversity of views. So, I mean, we have no problem with diverse views as long as they are for the unity of the country. They reflect the various creative aspirations of the Zimbabweans. But as to be what happened in Zanu-PF now, the party has lost its direction because of the G40. They have no history, the history which I have been narrating to you about where we come from as a country. And so once you have no history, you have no future. That's unfortunately the G40 dimension. We have complained about it when Kasubwere was made the political commissar. Now it is being borne out by facts that he has no history of the country. He does not know where he is going, and they are dull, completely unintelligent bunch. That G40 was in cabinet, completely dumb. That whole group. I have never suffered so much ignorance in my life as I did in cabinet listening to the G40. And the testament of their barrenness, intellectual and emotion, is borne by the economy. You can't see even a crane tower in this country building a skyscraper for almost 2 generations. And G40 was in power. In all other countries, the first thing you see when you are coming out of the airport is crane towers building skyscrapers. In Zimbabwe, we have not seen any. And in that period, the G40 has been in charge. They have delivered nothing but poverty to the people of Zimbabwe. Now they even want to distribute stands to people who have no shoes, people who don't know the next meal. I don't know how they are going to build those houses. So, but they are using it as a political gimmick. Because they are barren. If you have got any ideas, you start by attracting capital, industries, then people get wages, then they go to the banks, then they get mortgage, then they build houses. But for the G40, their model, political foundation of the G40 housing model, no one, I've never seen it in the whole world. But it's a reflection of the barrenness of these people. And their barrenness goes across the... First of all, Jonathan and Kasubwere, for 15, 20 years, they are like an old gramophone. The only sound it knows to produce is succession. Among the many issues which Zimbabwe is facing as a challenge, the most consistent item is seeking power. They seek power for the sake of power, nothing else. Everything which they talk about remains, how do I seize power? How do I take our power from this? How do I take power from the guerrillas who fought? How do I take part from the army? How do I take part from the VP? How do I take power when the president dies? That's the only thing which is their preoccupation. In a transparent manner, the country's economy was growing at 4 to 5% per annum. When we carried out the land reform, we were giving, it was carried out by the war veterans. Remember, it was us. We were giving the people the means of production so that new capital could then come in and work on the resources so that we go to the next stage. But by 1999, with the likes of Jonathan Moyo coming in, I think he came in through General Mju. Remember Edson Zobo used to say, I'm sorry, Chef. Chief the next thing President he meant Jonathan, Edson Zobo. Remember that quotation? He meant Jonathan, how he came from behind everybody in Zanu-PF and behind Pamsore, and people thought he is carrying water to the president, only to find Jonathan by the side of the president, now a ruler. That's how Edson Zobo put it. What I'm saying is that somewhere along the way, the party was infiltrated. And the dominance of G40 ideas at the center of power is evident. History, including expelling the war veterans, including me. Not I care, I don't care. Why do I want to be associated with a barren lot called the G40? I don't want to be associated with them. So actually, Viscom cabinet was a badge of honor. Viscom Politi Bill was a badge of honor. Because I can't be associated with the total failure that is G40.